Welcome back to Crime Scene 24/7. And if you're new here, hit subscribe and ring the bell now, You'll want to follow this one all the way through. This is the story of an 11-year-old boy inside his own home in Hudson Valley who lost his life to a gunshot that left an entire community reeling. In the early hours of October 9, 2025, at 184 North Miller Street in Newburgh, police responded to a 911 call. Inside, they found a young boy, shot in the head, lifeless, in the home where he should have been safe. No one else was injured. The first assumption, it was a tragic misfire. A child handling a gun with fatal consequences. But just hours later, everything changed. A 13-year-old acquaintance was taken into custody and charged with second-degree murder. A firearm was recovered. 3 juveniles were persons of interest. Schools across the city locked down, and parents watched their children's safe zones for signs of danger. The lockout lifted around noon, but the silence that followed was heavier than any alarm. This case is fresh, the details still unfolding. But one thing is clear. The apparent innocence of a game cannot untangle the question that now haunts this community. Did someone intend harm? Or was this a tragic accident that spiraled out of control? What you will hear tonight. What we do know. The timeline, the arrests, the community's reaction. And what we don't yet know. The motive, the gun's origin, the relationship between these boys. But before we go further, if you're watching for the first time, subscribe to Crime Scene 24/7, because when the smoke clears, we'll be here, digging until we uncover the truth. Shortly after the shooting, investigators secured the scene. Forensics teams photographed every angle, measured bullet trajectories, and collected evidence. Shell casings, gun fragments, fingerprints. They interviewed neighbors, reviewed surveillance footage from nearby streets. Phones were analyzed, call logs checked. But even then, cracks appeared. Conflicting witness statements, broken timelines, and a weapon that seemed to have changed hands. One neighbor said she saw children playing outside moments before. Another claimed she heard a single shot, then silence. Some said the boys had been inside. Others suggested they were testing the gun outdoors. Which version is true? That's what detectives must determine. Inside the preliminary reports, the 13-year-old suspect is said to have had access to the firearm. But where it came from, when it was loaded, who handled it? Those pieces remain missing. And with juveniles involved, some records are sealed, some interviews withheld. The public is asking for clarity, and for now, we wait. In the community, grief has turned to anger. Loyal friends gathered at memorials. Candles, stuffed animals, handwritten notes, symbols of innocence lost. At schools, counselors reassure frightened students. Parents ask questions they cannot answer. Every silence feels heavier. As we await deeper revelations, perhaps through police press conferences, court filings, or eyewitnesses coming forward, you'll be hearing it here first. We'll track every update, every new document, every piece of evidence that changes what we believe. So I ask you, was this a careless act by a child wielding power without regard? Or was there something darker, a plan, an intent, a hand guiding that shot? What do you believe? If you want to follow along as the investigation unfolds, subscribe to Crime Scene 24/7 now, because when the truth comes to light, you'll want to say you were there from the beginning.